Hi friends, this is Vicki, and surprise! Happy birthday, Marilyn G. So, most of you have already seen my project on Marilyn's channel. I pre-recorded this so that she would be surprised. But I thought I'd come on and show you some information on my project and just how I made it. So, this is the paper pad that I used for her card. So I used this strawberry, of course, and I used the coordinating green, which right there, polka dot. And on the envelope, I used the rickrack that the die from Anna White, and I believe this is the largest one here. And then I used this little strawberry from the stamp set from Park Lane, and I used this little strawberry there. And also these little tiny brads. This one has a package of different colors, like they have the brass and the black and the silver. So that worked out real well. I found this at Michael's. The other ones I used were from the Paper Studios, but they were all kind of a steel metal color. Looks like, oh, there's one that's kind of gold. But so I did alcohol ink some of those to use. Okay, so the card is, here it is. So I used the cut apart, and it says focus on happy. So cute. I just love this mouse. And then the strawberry paper, and the base of the card is a cardstock that I have in my stash, and then and the green paper is behind there, so it's kind of layered. And this brick rack is the smaller size brick rack. I believe it's this one, because there's 3 of them. I think I used this one. Maybe that's a cutout of that that's shown. Okay, so I have here a closure that I made with a label that's folded over. And then this is just a paper clip that I've had in my stash here. And so I just thought that worked good to close that. So you open it here, and I distressed it with vintage photo ink throughout, and you open it. It says happy birthday. The stamp is in my stash. And then there's the paper and the other loopy part from this one here, which looks like that might be, I'm not sure on this, it might be the cutout, but this is not. This is a smaller one. And then on this side, I used the background stamp from Impression Obsession that I got at the Vintage Market. And this also is a sentiment I got from the Vintage Market. And on the back, I also used a little mouse eating the strawberry there. So cute. And then I also did the stamping from the Impression Obsession background stamp. And here's the little strawberry stamp. And so this is the card. I thought that came out really cute for Marilyn, who loves strawberries. And then let me tell you about this. So this is one of the coin envelopes I used from Tim Holtz. And if you haven't seen that, die set. It's this coin envelope, and these are all the pieces. Well, there's more pieces that's in the back. It's just numbers, extra numbers. And then on the front, I use this set, and this is archive. In the inside, I also use filed with this filing tab. And so the background here, this I also used this set, and I used this stamp. It's a Kelly Perky die set, stamp set that Hero Arts that I got in the past, and here is the die for it. Okay, so that is what it came out to be. I splattered it with some paint, and then I also used on the embossing folder, which is a Sizzix, but I don't happen to have the folder information, but it's really cute. And so it's impressed, and then I put some it's gesso, just thick gesso, white gesso on there to have it stand out. And then I inked it with Vintage Photo, and this is the strawberry paper that I used for the closure. And you open it. Oh, this I used waxed thread. And then here is the little card. It says series, and then it says strawberry. And then on this side, I did a watercolor of this stamp with a little mouse from here. And I thought it came out really cute. So it looks different from the printout. This is the printout. This is my watercolor. And then I sprinkled it with some of the white watercolor. You can see it real well. It's snowing in the strawberry field. Okay, and this is put filed. So that's what that came out to be. It's really cute. And if you want to see how this is made, you can also check out my other video on all these coin envelopes that I've made. So that is that part of the card and folder. And next, I did make her a traveler's notebook. So here it is. This is an ode to an inky life, and this is just a ink that I had from one of those freebies, and I inked it with let me show you that. This, which doesn't have a name, but I got it on Etsy, and I used one of those. So I'll show you this again when I show you the rest of the book, but that's what this is, how I got that. These are from Dollar Tree, and it came in a package that had all of these things on it and these corners. So I thought that looked good for the cover. And then the ink during this stamp is one I had in my stash. It is something got caught in there. It is, I think, maybe it's a Prima because of these. That would tip me off because of this. So it might be an old Prima stamp. And then, let's see, I just used a black set, I think, to do this. This is from my stash, just a some embroidery type of thick lace. And then the folder, actual folder, I made from a file folder. So I got this type of file folder. It's really long. It's like a lawyer's type of folder that's real thick. And I cut it up. So this is the original one that I used, this blue one. And it is the outer part of this part. This was inside. So I took it apart and just cut it to size. So that's from the vintage market or the thrift store. I'm not sure where I got that, but so I left this type of taping on there as well. And then I did put a little tags on here, little charms on the end with the bulb. This is a bulb clip, I guess. So it's like that, 365 days in a year, and a little flower. Okay, so as you open it, okay, on this side, I made a little pocket. So I sewed the piece first and then glued it to the as a pocket. And this is also the ticket from the Tim Holtz. This is Tim Holtz dies. And then on here, in here, I made the little folder with an ink spot from that stamp. And then I made this, this is ink and pen paper that I saw at Michael's. And so I thought I'd use that in here. I sewed a piece of cloth in here. And then it opens up like this. It opens up like that. And then on this side, I inked that stamp, the background stamp, on tissue paper. And then I stamped it with this is from Red Lead. This stamp set. So I stamped it on here. Story. So something she can use or not use. I just thought it's cute together as an Inky ode to an Inky life. And so this goes in here, and then this one also was out here. And this one is the same. I inked it on this tissue paper or tracing paper, and then I just put some blue shimmer paper that I inked up, and this is Tim Holtz tape, and so this is just part of that folder. So it closes up like a matchbox, not matchbox, but in match, I don't know what those colors are called, and put a Tim Holtz clip on it. Well, on this side, I just decorated it up a bit with the Tim Holtz tissue, printed tissue, and then a little stamp that I have in my stash, and just put that on there as well. And then on this side, I used the Tim Holtz, this I have in my stashes from years back, but I used this set, and it's like a sponge, kind of, in a typewriter print. I guess it's a print. So I put Inky on here, and I did do some stamping, and I did do some Inky drawing. Put a little paper clip on there and this is also Tim Holtz tape, fabric tape. Sewed the edges, and I made this to open up, and did some more little ink bottles and did them in watercolor, or maybe I did use ink instead, just to see how it was experimenting. I actually cut this out of one of my books from the early 1900s, and this was the only one I could find that was ink related, so I cut that out, put that in there. This is my vintage tape that I've made with using alcohol inks and Tim Holtz's tape, fabric tape, and this is made out of a file folder, this one here. And so this opens up to this page, and this is the stamp that I received from the Etsy. I bought in Etsy, one of the stamps. And you flip this over, and this is the Tim Holtz tissue paper. This is what remnants of pieces of fabric that I put here, and a little heart with a pin and a rusty pin and a button. And this is a little card that I enclosed here that she can write on. And then this paper is Tilda paper that I have in my stash. I think she loves Tilda paper as I do. Okay, so this one comes out, and I actually did a drawing first as I was planning this. So this is my drawing of what I wanted to create, and so that's why this is all sewn. And then this is a ribbon from Japan. I got at the vintage market. This is from Tim Holtz's series of wallpaper, so it has some ephemera pack in there. And this is also the Tilda paper, and this is the little from the two sets that I bought. I got this one at the vintage at the thrift store, and so I bought this one. It has 2 pins, and then the other one was the one that I got from Etsy, and so I stamped them out and then cut them out here. So these are all the ones I used some watercolor to color these up using the shimmer watercolor that I've been using lately. So I put them in here, and they are removable, so you can just take these out and put them back in, because I sewed this little strap here, sewing. And then this is just plain. This is the Tilda paper with a little stamp here to make it look like it's a stationery type of booklet. So then this just closes up around and around and goes back into this little pocket. And then the next page I have is this notebook that I glued this notebook onto this back of this one so that it looks like this. This is Tim Holtz tissue paper glued on with a paste, and then this one here looks like this, and it's made to look like leather. And I stamp these, as I said before, and then I put tissue paper, or it's tracing paper, and that ink paper, ink and pen paper in here. It's tied, and I did sew this in with this thread, this wax thread, and then I made this little blot. out of 2 pieces of watercolor paper from Michaels. So I made a little blot sheet, and I like how this came out, this roughed edge on the back. And so this is what it looks like. I used shoe polish to make this, crumpled up the paper. The paper was a craft paper, and then just did a little bit of gold on it as well in different places here. This is from Stamps from My Stash, and so this goes inside of here like so. And I'll show you the paper that I made. So this is what it looks like. I didn't do the inside, I just did the outside because I glued the cardstock on top of it. So I think it came out nice. And then the last page here is actually its own little booklet that I sewed around, put the Tim Holtz paper, tissue paper on there. This is from the ephemera of the wallpaper pack. And then these are some of the ink I stamped out. And then this is the Tim Holtz fabric paper. And then I just put out a cutout of the tissue paper, which is the travel dictionary looking page. And then I lined the back of this paper, watercolor paper, with the Tim Holtz ink pins. And then on this side I taped in a piece of acetate that's been printed on like a film strip. So I have some of that, and I just cut out a piece and put it for the background. And then this is the other pins that I put, and it's also backed with the Tim Holtz tissue paper, another piece of Tim Holtz tissue paper. This is part of the wallpaper strip from Tim Holtz pack. And on the back of that, I just put another paper, and it came out really pretty. The colors are nice. So this goes in here, and this will hang out a bit on the bottom. So on the very back, I decided to put one of the little placards from that Dollar Tree, and then I stamped out this. It says "Imagine Your Dream," and stamped this part out of the background stamp. So that's my folder that I made for Marilyn, since this is a newfound love of inks and ink pens, and so I thought I'd make an ode to an inky life for her. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little explanation of this little project that I made for Marilyn. So have a good day, and Marilyn, have a really happy birthday. Bye-bye.